Jim Carrey, the man with the rubber face, the electric energy, the unstoppable laugh. He made the world roar with comedy from Ace Ventura to The Truman Show. But behind those goofy grins and million-dollar smiles was something far darker, something most fans never saw coming. He wasn't just battling villains on screen, he was battling demons in real life. This is the untold story of Jim Carrey's darkest chapter. In the 90s, Jim Carrey was unstoppable. The Mask, Dumb and Dumber, Liar Liar. He wasn't just in demand, he was the box office. At one point, he became the first actor to earn $20 million for a single film. But fame came with a heavy cost. Carrey would later say, "I think everybody should get rich and famous and do everything they ever dreamed of so they can see that it's not the answer." He was a global icon, but not a happy one. Underneath the wild energy was a man grappling with serious mental health struggles. Carrey openly discussed battling depression throughout his life. He turned to Prozac for a time, but eventually abandoned it, saying it left him feeling numb. In interviews, Carrey described living in a state of constant emptiness despite the world's perception of him as endlessly joyful. He joked for millions, but inside, he felt like no one was laughing with him. In 2015, Carrey's world collapsed when his on-again, off-again girlfriend, Cathriona White, died by suicide. The young makeup artist left behind a note addressed to Carrey saying, "You are my family." Her death devastated him, but the tragedy didn't end there. Her family later filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Carrey, accusing him of providing the drugs that led to her overdose. Carrey called the lawsuit a shakedown and fought it in court. Ultimately, the case was dismissed, but the damage to Carrey's public image and personal life was profound. Suddenly, the man who brought joy to millions was accused of contributing to the death of someone he loved. The headlines were brutal. Tabloids painted Carrey as a manipulative older celebrity who enabled a troubled young woman. Private medical records were leaked. Texts and personal messages became public. Carrey withdrew from the spotlight, rarely seen or heard from during the media firestorm. He later said, "I was being harassed by toxic people and a toxic culture. Hollywood is a machine that runs on stories." And for a while, Carrey became the villain in one of its darkest. After Dumb and Dumber 2 in 2014 and a few lesser-known roles, Carrey seemed to vanish from major Hollywood projects. He turned to painting, isolation, and spiritual exploration. In a now viral interview at a fashion event, Carrey shocked viewers by saying, "There is no me. There are just things happening." He began expressing views on the illusion of identity, ego death, and questioned the very nature of celebrity. Many thought he'd gone mad. Others saw a man finally shedding the mask he'd worn for decades. The world expected comedy, but Carrey was chasing clarity. By 2020, Carrey re-emerged in a very different form. He played Joe Biden on Saturday Night Live, appeared in Sonic the Hedgehog, and released a semi-autobiographical novel titled Memoirs and Misinformation. But he remained distant from the red carpets and blockbuster scene. In 2022, he declared he was probably retiring from acting. "I have enough. I've done enough. I am enough," he told Access Hollywood. It was a far cry from the man who once earned $20 million to talk out of his butt on screen. For once, he wasn't performing. He was simply being. Jim Carrey's darkest chapter isn't just about grief, lawsuits, or scandal. It's about a man who gave the world his laughter while fighting his own pain in silence. It's a story of transformation, loss, and the brutal cost of fame. He taught millions to laugh, and in the end, he taught many more about the importance of mental health, self-worth, and walking away when the spotlight becomes a prison. It's a reminder that even the brightest lights in Hollywood can flicker in the shadows. Jim Carrey's life proves that behind every smile there can be sorrow, behind every joke, a wound, but also behind every fall, a rebirth. What do you think about Jim Carrey's transformation? Was it a downfall or an awakening? Let us know in the comments.